Once again, you're watching at this news hour. I am Binyam Getana with the news. Thank you for joining us. Do stay tuned. The Ministry of Defense said the accusation press statement given by the Sudanese army on the execution of Sudanese soldiers in Ethiopia is fallacious. If the Sudanese army is ready to withdraw the forcibly occupied lands, the government of Ethiopia is committed to restore peace and stability in the region. The Ministry of Defense has given press statement on current issues on Tuesday. Haftam Ashagre has compiled the following story.
After the Northern Command attacked by TPLF last year, the Sudanese army has been mongering war actors in Ethiopia. Thus, the Sudanese army has taken the sovereign Ethiopian rightful territory. Briefing journalists, Ministry of Defense Foreign Relations Director Getnet Adane said the Sudanese army has been rejecting Ethiopia's peace role in the region. According to Getnet, the Sudanese army and the TPLF fighters are taking joint attack against the sovereign of the nation.
Recently, the Sudanese army, TPLF fighters as well as other traitors are aligning and entering against the sovereign land of Ethiopia. They are committing offensive acts against militias and residents in the region. We are confirming damage in both sides.
Despite all this hard fact, the Sudan Army spokesperson has accused the Ethiopian Defense Force against the hard fact on the ground, the director underlined.
They are accusing our defense force blindly. They are also releasing statements claiming the Ethiopian Defense Force has killed their soldiers as well as civilians too, which is baseless information. The Sudanese army also confirmed they will take revenge against Ethiopia.
Getnet calls upon the Sudanese army to refrain from any wrong deeds.
The government of Ethiopia suspects some anti-peace elements are pushing the Sudanese army, misinterpreting the recent condition in the region. We are also advising the Sudanese army to stop miscalculated actions against Ethiopia. The government of Ethiopia is committed to solve this problem peacefully based on the long-standing relations of the two countries.
According to Getnet, the government of Ethiopia is otherwise ready to take proper measures as well as for keeping guard of the national interests of the nation if the peace alternative will fail.
And Ethiopia's ruling Prosperity Party and the Chinese Communist Party have agreed to bolster strategic relationship. Vice President of the Prosperity Party Adam Farah and Chinese Communist Party Central Committee International Relations Minister Liu Jianxiu held a webinar discussion. The current situation in Ethiopia, the Green Legacy Initiative and other related issues were the focus of discussion held between the two officials. During the webinar, Liu was briefed on the current situation in Ethiopia, including about the ongoing Green Initiative by Adam Farah. He praised the leadership of the Communist Party of China for its success in China. Adam noted that the Prosperity Party is achieving remarkable success by implementing indigenous policies, adding that PP has been learning from the Communist Party of China in this regard and will continue to do so. Liu, for his part, said China believes Ethiopia is a key pillar of peace and security in East Africa, and the Prosperity Party is CP's partners in regional strategic issues. He noted that the Communist Party of China has a strong desire to further enhance bilateral ties and noted the areas of further cooperation between the two parties. In other news, the House of Federation underscored that the conflict can be better be prevented when dealt with before happening. This came here today during discussion on a strategic document commissioned by the House and UNDP on ways of dealing with conflict. Shagai Matao has compiled the following story.
A new strategic document on national conflict prevention and peace building designed after discussions held with the members of the House of Federation. The strategic document is said to help states prevent conflicts before happening. Spokesperson of the House of Federation, Agenyo Teshagar, expressed confidence that these initiatives help find remedies to conflicts which still continue to challenge the Federal Republic.
The very objective of the National Conflict Prevention and Peace Building Strategy is to resolve conflicts sustainably before they arise between regions and within a region. It also helps to have an all-inclusive conflict resolution strategy and build peace that can sustainably address challenges before peace is disrupted.
Ethiopia has adopted a bicameral form of parliament. The House of Federation is the upper house of the bicameral Federal Parliamentary Assembly, the Parliament of Ethiopia. It has 112 members. Bizuna Hasafa, the House of Federation coordinator at the United Nations Development Programme, for his part said, the strategy helps point out ways of bringing structural change.
Challenges of conflict can be changed into opportunities for development. And this strategy tries to see not only issues of conflict, but the cause of the conflict. Most of the time, the cause of the conflicts are depicted in political, economic, and the social relations of the society. Issues are very specific, and it is very difficult to transform conflict without understanding the cause, the fundamental or structural cause of the conflict itself. So this strategy basically focuses on transforming the structural or fundamental causes of conflict, then focusing on specific or piecemeal activities of transforming conflict.
The House of Federation and the Ministry of Peace are responsible for the implementation of the strategy in cooperation with the federal government, ETV learned.
This strategy will be implemented by different actors. At federal level, first of all, in some very critical conflicting issues, it will be implemented jointly through the joint engagement of the federal and the regional government in sensitive areas. In specific areas which does not need, which are not critical and does not need huge measures, it will be implemented by the regional government or responsible institution. By now, at federal level, the House of Federation and the Ministry of Peace are responsible to work on the implementation of this strategy jointly with the federal government. And respectively, the federal government will take the same initiative based on their mandate. But there is a collaborative agreement where the implementations will be monitored and evaluated against the strategic pillars.
The strategic document was presented to the stakeholders and discussed by the members of the House, regional and federal stakeholders.
And southwest Ethiopia is endowed with valuable forest products like species, coffee, medicinal plants and honey. The area has also greater tourism potential, which are not well promoted and well exploited. So what is being done by the regional government to tap the resources accordingly and benefit the population? President of the regional state, Negash Wagesho, has explanation about his region. Daniel Kasson has compiled his views. Let's take a look at
recent investment opportunities not only in southwest Ethiopian People's Region, but also in other parts of the country is very, very massive. Yes, we have a good future as there are ample potential of both natural as well as man-made resources. But in order to exploit those natural and man-made resources to the benefit of the people requires some prerequisite. That prerequisite is the budget. So as newly born and as a growing child, the budget deficit which we currently face is much high.
You recently have solicited fund and you have raised enormous amount of money.
Definitely. We organized a very big grant fundraising event here in Addis very recently, and Friends of Southwest Ethiopian People's Region, the federal as well as the regional governments, non-governmental organizations, individuals, private sector, they all extended their generous hands and pledged some significant amount in order to augment the budget deficit which we are facing today.
Meanwhile, Egypt and Sudan need to provide all the necessary support to Ethiopia's Green Legacy program, which is crucial to increase quality and sustainability of water supply. Vice Chairman of Green Legacy Initiative Technical Committee, Getachew Gizau, said water expert Getachew added also, as Sudan and Egypt are beneficiaries of Abai River, protecting Abai and the tributary is the responsibility of all the countries in the region. Yerusalem Besa has compiled the following story from ENA.
Experts in the fields of environment, water and forests say that forests create healthy watersheds which are necessary to maintain the water availability of rivers, lakes and other water streams. Forests have enormous contributions to maintain the moisture of human environment and soil fertility. In an exclusive interview with Ethiopian news agency, National Green Legacy Initiative Technical Committee Vice Chairman Getachew Gizau said the program has huge connection with water resource development and sustainability.
Seedlings are crucial for healthy soil and sustainable water supply, protection of waters from sediment and dams from flood, among others.
According to the water expert, most lakes and rivers in the world have become history due to lack of timely protection and care. Since Ethiopia provides water for neighboring countries, especially the low riparian countries, and is a responsible country, it protects and gives utmost care for water resource. This, however, requires collective effort of all concerned bodies, Getachew stressed.
If there is no protection in the upper part of the water basin, it's difficult to get sufficient water supply in the low riparian countries.
Therefore, countries that highly benefit from the water basin originating from Ethiopia have to support such initiatives, the Vice Chairman pointed out. As Sudan and Egypt are beneficiaries of Abai River, which has the lion's share in the Nile River flow, protecting Abai and the tributary as the responsibility of all the countries in the region.
We have to fairly utilize Abai and fairly protect the resource together as well. And all neighboring countries in general, and Egypt and Sudan in particular, have to contribute their respective role in supporting Ethiopia's green legacy and basin development programs.
The water expert underscored that the low riparian countries have to actively support Ethiopia's efforts to maintain and sustain water resources in all aspects, be it idea, knowledge and finance. Since 2019, Ethiopians have been engaged in planting billions of seedlings with the vision to become a green society.
Lake Hawassa is located in Sidama, 275 kilometers south of Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa. This freshwater lake in the central Ethiopian Rift Valley is home to many plant and animal species. Scores of species with sundry forms of plants, animals, and microorganisms make the lake rich in biodiversity. The lake has played a central role in the economic development of the region, sustaining a diversity of rural and urban livelihoods. Many of the surrounding community depend on the lake for their livelihood and generate income for the city of Hawassa through tourism. The lake is also a major groundwater recharging mechanism, ensuring water availability for businesses and the industrial park.
Not dangerous.
Not dangerous.
Not dangerous.
If you want a jack, you can.
Ce mi-e frică că ne-au dat vestele astea, eu știu să not, dar nu știu să not lângă hipopotami. Pățim ceva dacă picăm în apă lângă ei. Ne mâncă?
Welcome back again to this news hour, and moving to another news story. The Ethiopian branch of the Coalition of African Women Leaders has unveiled the Youth Caucus. The forum was attended by the Ministry of Women and Social Affairs, Dr. Ergoge Tesfaye, the special representative of the chairperson of African Union Commission for Women, Peace and Security, Benita Diop, the ambassador of Ireland to Ethiopia, Nicola Bernan, and the chairperson of the Coalition for African Women Leaders, Dr. Jonat Bewan. The minister noted that it's important to empower young women to take the lead in the peace and security agenda. She further added that this Ethiopian branch of Women's Coalition will play a significant role in helping African elected leaders make their voice heard at the continent level. The Coalition of African Women Leaders and Youth Caucus has branches in various countries, which the Ethiopian African Women Leaders Coalition was officially launched in 2019. In our business segment, the Ministry of Finance said it is focusing on completing the development projects started by strengthening the key reforms in the 2022 and 23 draft budget. The Standing Committee on Planned Budgets and Finance Affairs of the House of People Representative held a public consultation on the 2022 and 2023 budget. Johannes van Town tells us more.
The Standing Committee on Planned Budget and Finance Affairs of the House of People's Representative held a discussion on the draft budget for the 2022-23 Ethiopian fiscal year. According to the Minister of Finance, Eyob Tekalling, the draft budget for the coming budget year is intended to be used for the implementation of projects that have not been completed in the past years in support for the drought, war and COVID-affected people. The Minister said the government has set direction to ensure that the ongoing projects should be completed without interruptions.
በዋናነት ይሄ በጀት ስናዘጋጅ ቁልፍ የሪፎርም ስራዎቻችን ተጠናክረው መቀጠል አለባቸው የሚለውን ከግምት አስገብተናል። አንደኛ የጀመርናቸው ፕሮጀክቶች
As we prepare this budget, we take into account that our key reform activities must be strengthened. We plan to complete unfinished projects in line with the government's direction of we will not start, which we will not finish. Some projects last up to 10 years, and some have just begun. Therefore, we have prioritized to complete the delays as well as the new ones as soon as possible.
የተያዙ ፕሮጀክቶች እንዲጠናቀቁ በቂ priority እንዲሰጣቸው ተደርጓል።
Participants on the public consultation of the 2022-23 draft budget raised various questions regarding the proposed budget, and elaborations are provided by the finance consultant of the ministry, Teferi Demeke.
መንግስት ለተቋማት የሚበጅተው ባጀት አለ። ይሄንን በአግባቡ ስራ ላይ ከማዋል አንፃር
How the government institutions that have been audited by the federal auditor for mismanaging the budget allocated to institutions have appeared in the new budget allocation.
የተሰጣቸው ተቋማት ባጀት አመራደብ ላይ ምንድነው የተደረገው ነገር?
ከዚህ በፊት ለብክነት የተጋለጡ ወጪዎችን
Expensive expenditures have been properly addressed in the budget. This is the main focus of the program budget. Due to the current situation in the country, there may be a mismatch between demand and expenditure during the fiscal year. Therefore, the new budget should be implemented in a different way than usual.
አገራዊ ሁኔታ ግን ያንን ያስገድዳል ማለት
The federal government's draft budget for 2022-23 is 786.6 billion birr and will be submitted to the House of People's Representatives for approval after discussions with various sections of the society.